if you buying that ticket, you be fucking.
I got everything I need at my house. I don't need a hall pass.
Every time I get to a corner and I see somebody doing a famous Baltimore gangster lean.
We outside.
It's the Shop Podcast. We are here, we are there, we are everywhere. It's been a little while since y'all seen us, and we making moves behind the scenes. Today, don't know how long it's gonna be, but we're gonna try to do something. We got Big Sharp back, and we got Pastor back. And Pastor, yes, we're gonna talk about sex for 2 hours.
So if you talk about sex for 2 hours, the pastor is going to sign off early.
He don't usually sign off early. Well, he kind of signs off early. He be there, but he turns aside like this, and then he probably grabs something to eat.
Hey fam, I'm so glad to be back. I know y'all been missing me for the last 3 weeks.
You stuck at sea?
Good to have you
I was stuck at sea. Yep. I was stuck at sea, Italian style.
Oh, where'd you go?
I went to St. Martin's, St. Thomas, St. Lucia, St. Kitts, and Barbados.
You didn't stop in St. Louis?
Nope, didn't stop in St. Louis.
You hear that, Pastor? That's a sign. There was a lot of saints in that conversation.
I know it was, but you know what? I think it just happened. It just happened that way. It was a long cruise, but met a few people. Excuse me, met a few people who was getting off of that cruise and was going on another 30-day cruise, and I was like, bless them, because I was tired. I was ready to see some land.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. Glad you got your vacation in early.
Yeah, try to, but I still was missing y'all, and even though I was, I guess you can say enjoying life, it's still nothing like being grounded and being home.
I feel you. We're glad to have you back, Pastor. I know you ain't driving to and fro right now.
No, I'm not driving to and fro, but I'm driving to and fro in my own vehicle, whatever. We can do we sharing a car right now, so we got to do the pickups. So
I feel you. That's funny. I'm sharing a car right now too. The ways of the world.
Facts.
We're around town, and Sharp Lady got all the vehicles. we need to borrow
Don't talk.
that.
Who put that nasty rumor out? That's not me.
You put the rumor out that you had a tree on your car.
You got that?
Yeah. I ain't like that. That was kind of scary. And it's funny that you mentioning that, because when I tell you that same kind of wind that was coming through the last time I was on the show, it's happening again today. When I was driving down into Maryland, trash cans, people, trees down again. So I don't know. It's something about that area that the storms, when they come through bad.
I feel you.
I told y'all that I told y'all everything that happened. There was a tree on the car. The trampoline got twisted up like a pretzel. I'm scared. I don't know what's gonna happen today.
So I know you've been out the country and all, but have you been keeping up with what's been going on around town and just period, as far as like social media and stuff like that?
I'm gonna say yes and no. I saw a few things of interest, and I know one thing that haven't stopped. The shootings haven't stopped. That seem to have still picked up, and it's still, again, nothing's being done.
I mean, that ain't never gonna stop. It's just the way of the world in certain places. I mean, we are literally in wartime with our own people in certain places, certain cities, certain areas. And to be honest, I've been on YouTube watching. I guess you probably don't know who FBG Duck is, but he's like a rapper, and they killed him, and they're having like the trial for it. And I will say this: it's interesting to see how these little people think and you be like, man, that's dumb as shit. But at the same time, it's their culture, so I can't really say nothing. But one thing I will say, I don't know, I don't think it's like this in Baltimore, but do not ever commit a crime in Chicago. These muds got cameras everywhere. So the way that story went is somebody, okay, so like, I don't, Towson, okay, imagine Towson Mall was outside and all the luxury stores were outside, right? In like a strip. So one dude, okay, this rapper named FBG Duck, right? He is like he's a rapper. I guess they call him the kids treat it like it's a video game. You get points for killing people, and you get high power. I think they call it high value targets. So he's a rapper, so he's a high value target. So in broad day, the one guy seen him in a baby store picking up some clothes. That dude then called the people from his hood. One phone call, real quick. These guys, well, the crazy thing about Chicago is they got the guy, like on camera, they got the guy calling the guys in wherever they live. They have a camera in their building. It shows them running up the stairs in their regular clothes, running back downstairs in all black. Then there's another camera in the parking lot, right? And in the camera, it shows the next thing it shows is the camera in the parking lot. It shows all of them guys jumping into two cars. Then they got cameras on the street. The cameras follow them to this downtown area in the daytime where they shot him up over 20 times in front of everybody in broad day. These fools jumped back in the cars. One dude, I guess he had bought the car, but then his loan got denied. So he ended up taking the car back to the dealership right after that. And guess what? There's a bullet casing on the windshield from all the shots that you did on this dude. Then the camera follows them all the way back. I'm talking about they got a whole movie of this. I don't feel like there's any way these guys are going to get out because I literally watched the shooting on YouTube. But hey, so do not commit a crime in Chicago because they have cameras watching everything. And I would like to say Baltimore should do the same.
And you know what? And I was thinking the same thing, and that might be what may deter things. And it's funny because we do got, in Baltimore, they do have these CVT cameras, but I don't even know if they work.
I don't know, but they got the whole thing on video, even the shots. So like you could watch it, but it's it ain't no sound and you can't really see bullets in the camera, but you see people dropping and running, and it's crazy that these guys are so bold that they would go to where the luxury stores are and shoot this guy up in broad daylight. It's nutty. And like even listening to the trial, the things that they say, I'll be like, yo, you guys are crazy. They're like, one dude says he calls this other dude his little brother because that's his favorite op. And they was like, why is he your favorite op? Because it's like, oh, because if I call him out on social media, he'll come fight and we'll fight. And then he'll disappear. Other people's like, a lot of people get shot, like a lot. So like one guy was like, he said another rapper, he's like, yeah, he shot me. And then he shot my sister or cousin, shot her so many times, it pinned her to she was on a porch. They said it pinned her to the porch.
Oh, wow.
And he was like, I didn't say, like his family's upset because he didn't say nothing to the police because he don't wish jail on nobody. But now that the guy who did it is dead, he's okay with telling the story. I'm like,
so that man was he living by that code of honor? That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, but it's crazy. Like, I mean, if somebody shot somebody in your family, would you tell the police?
I would, but certain people won't because some people feel like if they snitch that they're going to lose their life. I mean, that's a big thing for some people, especially when it comes down to these gangs and I guess anything that can fall in the line of being contract killers.
Hey, Randy, how you doing?
What's up,
Pastor, what's your
Randy?
thoughts? What's your thoughts?
Hey, Shayna. I agree or whatever. He I would. What I was gonna say is the stop snitching thing. It's interesting that we had a tape about it years ago in Baltimore. But like to be honest, if these guys are online to get a whole bunch of time,
Points.
they snitching. If they get ready to get time, whatever like that, they gonna tell on such and so to get out of this time during this time. It's not, you know what I'm saying, like you got the Bloods, you got the Crips or whatever like that, and they'll be like, they act like they about their life or whatever. And some people ride for their homies and all the other stuff, but then a lot of people not doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like the game ain't the game as it used to be or whatever. So me personally, if somebody shot my family member, I ain't gonna be able to be quiet about that.
Respect. Hey, Lance, how you doing? So, Lance, if somebody shot your cousin and you've seen it, is you telling the police? Just asking. Randy, I know Randy telling.
Well, Randy, can we go back? Because Randy asked if the guys were caught or were they and I
they're
think
on,
from what you were saying, six, they were, right? They are
yeah,
arrested.
they're on trial right now. I watched this thing. I want to say it's called Court TV, and I don't know. People's reading skills are different, and acting is different. But they get people to read these court cases out loud, and it sounds like a movie. And I mean, I could visualize what happens, even though I've seen the video. But I watch a lot of cases like that. Um, I know there are still some cases that I really want to know what happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, truthfully, does anybody know what happened to Eric Holder for shooting Nipsey? How long did he get? Or did he even finish? I don't know. Do any of y'all know that?
I don't have no facts
No,
on that.
I didn't see any facts or follow up. Randy knows.
Lance said, "Does the cousin owe me money?" Nah, the cousin don't owe you money. Actually, the funny thing is, the cousin is like his people's. Like if they was hanging together. I would say something anonymously. I get it. Well, I ain't gonna. I want to say the rapper. I think it was a rapper who did it, but I can't remember. So I mean, that's definitely something you might want to look up. I know they got a hit song that I listen to. I ain't gonna front. But anyways, I mean, it's dangerous out here in the world, and I'm glad sometimes that I moved away because most of the time, I don't want to deal with that bullshit, and I don't want to get hit up and not like by accident. I just feel like that's dumb. But where I live, I have other ops, So like I'm actually supposed to be working in my garden in my land or whatever, but I got ops like snakes and foxes and shit like that, and they almost crazy as them people. You just can't understand them. But I'll be trying, man.
Well,
Right?
I feel you on that, six. Especially when your neighbor got a deer hut right in their backyard, so you know
Yo,
what.
that's funny. My neighbor feeds the deer, but I'm cool with deer. Deers are cool. Like before I have my fence, at nighttime they used to come up and they used to be sleeping in the yard, like during the early hours of the day. It's okay for the deer. Now that little fox, I don't know about. And then sometimes we got these vultures. My wife said they don't mess with people, but them birds be bigger than a mud, yo. So and they just be soaring, shit crazy.
Mm.
But besides that, I mean, it's a lot of stuff going on in the world today. What else? What else? What else? So I don't know if you're a boxing fan at all, but what you I don't know. Okay, so Jake Paul is supposed
And
to be
Mike
fighting Mike
Tyson.
Tyson.
Mm-hmm.
What are your
And we,
thoughts?
Mike Tyson gonna crush him.
yeah, Mike Tyson gonna beat the bricks off of him, even though he's older. Would he have him by like what 20 some years or more?
Did you see him training? Did you see Mike Tyson training on Instagram?
Yeah, that's why I said
Yes.
he has J Paul by like what 20 some years or something. I think close. I think there's like maybe a 20-year or I don't know, but I know it's a significant age difference. And but I still feel like Mike Tyson is going to win. And even if, say for example, it did look like he was going to lose, for the sake of publicity, he's going to win. That's just my thoughts.
I'm sorry.
I think it's absolutely crazy to even um, volunteer to get in the ring with Mike Tyson. That is bananas, bro.
I mean, so this is what I heard. I heard that dude Jake Paul he could fight. We know Mike Tyson is an animal, but Mike Tyson is also up in age. I did
Right.
see his work. I did see his workout thing. I need him to tell me the date. You know what I'm saying? I need him to tell me a date. I need him to scream out, "Yeah, it's March 21st, 2034." Because I don't know if that was old or whatever. He didn't look like he was doing his thing, but I don't know, man.
So you think it's an old workout?
I don't think it is, but possibly could. We never know. Who knows?
Well, you
Nah,
know what?
Mike's still in shape, yo.
You can't put anything past Mike Tyson, so don't think that he may not come out with some kind of surprise element.
But we have seen Mike throw fights before. I'm not gonna say
Yes.
throw. We seen him take an L before.
So
I mean,
either way, both of them gonna get a nice piece of money for it.
you're right. You're right. And the mother kids kill him for free. So,
Mhm.
but
Shoot. As long as he don't bite no body parts off, he good with me.
I do think it's gonna be good entertainment, and I am happy that he getting a bag, yo. You know what I'm saying? Everybody deserves a bag, and Mike definitely deserves a bag for the work, especially all the work that he put in. I don't know about this Jake Paul dude or anything like that, but hey, if everybody can get a bag from the fight, then it's all good. Okay, so other
Can I
than
bring
that,
something else since you talking about getting a bag? Did anybody see the NAACP Image Awards?
I did.
what? You watch that?
Yeah.
Who watched that?
Why? Why not watch it?
Because I like my NAACP to have guns and drugs.
Well,
Was it a part on there where a black woman did like a spoken word piece?
yeah, but I
I
was
seen that.
talking
I
about
saw that.
yeah, I was talking about getting a bag because in as they were doing the honorees, they were mentioning about two people who will be getting some really good big bags, and so I was just making a transition. One being my favorite group, Six. You should know who that is, even though they're old, but I still rock with them. New
So,
Edition and Usher.
no comment.
No comment. Why?
I mean that's cool for that, man. I don't know. I don't keep up with that stuff, and that's just when I hear this conversation, it makes me just want to put some Ben Gay on my back. It's like old people shit. So
Well, I mean, they're an older group, but the way that at the away with this award show, basically, they're about to do a residency in Vegas, and they're expecting big profits from it.
I definitely go down a rabbit hole all the time on YouTube. And I seen the concerts from Vegas. And I mean, I would say maybe the next day or so I was still singing the songs, but I just wasn't too like super duper enthused about it. I will say this is kind of funny because Bobby looked at Rusty like Bobby is Rusty, and everybody else looked at better. And it was a time where he spun, and then he spun all the way to the back, like he had to take a break. So
I mean, I'll give you that. I was not impressed with him when I went to see them when they did their last tour. Bobby needed to go sit down somewhere. I agree with you on that. And the rest of the group had to kind of cover it. I remember a couple of sets where he didn't even perform because he was so out of breath.
I
Um,
that's funny you say that. So a couple of years ago on Valentine's Day, me and my wife went to see it. It had like 112 Genuine, and it had Bob Brown. He was like the closer, right? So this is Valentine's Day, so we all dressed up in our nice stuff, whatever, right? Bobby come on the stage and he like, yeah, this my cousin, and then a whole bunch of little dudes just started rapping about guns and everything else. It was crazy. And then like when Bobby came, he wasn't even singing nothing. All them little dudes were just rapping and rapping. And mind you, this is a Valentine's Day concert with all R&B people. I was so blown. I was like, yeah, that was crazy. But I feel
yeah.
like that was Bobby just not thinking it all the way through. Um,
Mhm.
I do. So my wife is a big New Edition fan, and I mean, I believe what they should do, and this is something that my wife suggested is they should sing their songs and also branch out into each one of their solo career songs. So, like, if
Right.
you had a hit, you should come out and sing your hits.
Right. And that's what they did in that concert. In their last concert, they actually did do that. Exactly that. That's what they did when I seen them in Savannah, Georgia now about 4 years ago now. But they did do it that way. That's exactly how they did it. And like I said, other than Bobby looking like he was about to pass out, I found it to be a really good, show. But
Yeah,
I'm curious to see what the residency is going to, turn out. Right now, they got to be Usher because he did 100 performances.
they ain't got 100 in them. We don't want to
No,
see. We don't want to see nobody drop.
yeah,
But honestly, yeah. So you know, so of course, watching the New Edition movie, I just have this taste in my mouth because of the movie that somehow they're gonna fight, something's gonna go wrong, and it's gonna play out like the movie, but 20 years later.
okay. Well,
But
let's just see how that plays out.
yeah, yeah, I
But
mean,
like I said, I just brought it up because of thinking about who's getting the bag, and um so that's one of the people that's expected to get the bag this year, as well as Usher with all of his foundations and the different things, and his nomination like very close to almost Man of the Year. So we'll see what
well,
happens.
with that said, let's talk about some people who's not gonna be getting the bag anymore.
Russell
So,
Wilson.
that's messed up. But I ain't gonna go there
He's
with that one.
not.
I had a different spin-off, but I think he signed to the Steelers, didn't he?
He
Yes, he
did,
did.
but he's only a temporary quarterback. He's gonna the boy Justin Fields gonna be the future of that team.
Hmm. Well, I mean, he's still getting the bag for sitting on the bench, and I heard he got $50 million worth of real estate out there that's trying to get sold.
Well, the
So,
other thing is too, he's still getting money from this old team. Denver Broncos still owe him money.
oh well, that's good.
85. Don't they owe him like was it like 8.5 million or something like that, or is it 85 million?
The
I
number
don't know.
amount I'm not sure of at this time, but they still owe him a pretty penny.
So I mean, with a couple millions, what he should do is take that money, invest in something that's going to be a sure thing, and make money off that. Then invest in something else, and then keep your money growing. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm.
And I'm sure he got the right people in his ears telling him, yo, you should do this, do that. Don't listen to Uncle Roscoe who want to invest in a chicken shack. You know what I'm saying? Invest in something that is going to be super profitable. But there's a couple of other people who's just not going to be getting in the bag anymore that we know of. So I want to say this week, they announced that Power Goes To will be coming to an end this season. And,
Oh wow!
Yeah.
So I seen the video on Facebook where the dude Omari Hardwick, the ghost himself, said that he wasn't really getting bread like that when it first started.
Yeah, he said that. I want to say he said he was getting Angela Bassett, I think, on 911 is getting so they said the words weird, so I'm only guessing, but they was like $250 per episode. She makes the most money. And then the guy asked him how much was he getting, and he was like, guess. And the guy guessed 150, and he said, okay, yeah. Now I don't know if that's 150,000.
It's 150,000.
I mean, shit. Some of us don't get $150,000
a year. Low for somebody getting an episode with that for an episode? Is that low?
I don't think that's low, but he said he was the face of everything, which is understandable. But also, they was taking a risk. I'm not gonna say he was an A-list actor. You know what I'm saying? He was. I mean, I like him, but I don't know what list they have put him on. He ain't Seinfeld. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe we missed something because we not celebrities or whatever. But 150,000 an episode seemed like a lot to me.
Yeah.
Well, it could be a lot, and I guess it depends on what they're used to getting, per episode for their, So maybe that's the reason why.
He said that 50 was giving him loans.
He did say that.
But also, you got to think, he has a lifestyle that he has to maintain and stuff like that. Like, I'm not sure if actors are really getting the money that we think in our head. Like, I mean, if you think about it, I mean, Taraji saying she ain't getting that money either.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of actors. Oh, go ahead.
No, I mean, I'm hearing you. What I'm thinking is that, it could be the fact that, the black actors and actresses continue to say that they get lowballed all the time. This has been an ongoing thing.
Yeah. I mean, is it us just talking and feeling like we're getting lowballed? Some people will be like, oh, you can Google the money and figure out who's making what. But last I heard at the job is you ain't really supposed to talk about how much you make.
Nope. That's one of them supposed to be unwritten things. And that's probably, why some of them may be getting lowballed, because they are having conversations that they shouldn't be having.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. But the crazy thing about Ghost Power Goes To is I think it's a great show. And I think the ratings are there. What they're saying is, well, another thing that they announced is there's going to be 2 new Power spinoffs. But what they're saying is more so that after season 4, the actors have to get more money. So it's easier to stop that show and start a new spinoff and maybe bring some characters over there. And then basically you have to start all over with your pay. Now, personally, so one thing we know is there's a Young Tommy and a Young Ghost spinoff called Origins. Do you guys have any thoughts of what kind of spinoff show y'all would like to see from Power?
I want to, I would love to see what they could do with Tyreek by himself. Like, what would happen is,
This is his spinoff. He ain't gonna get a spinoff.
What you ask, Sex?
All right. So we know that there's 2 new spinoffs coming.
Mm-hmm.
What spinoff would you like to see? There's already going to be a Young Tommy and a Young Ghost spinoff. Like, they're going to be together.
Mm-hmm.
I personally, I watch all of them.
What was the other option?
Oh, we don't know yet. But I would like to see, and this is a shot in the dark. I would like to see a Kane and Effie spinoff on some Bonnie and Clyde shit.
Okay,
So
I could go for that. That would be interesting.
I would like to see them get into like a real relationship, do all the bad things together, and then they tell us a little bit more about their backstory, but they basically turn into like a Bonnie and Clyde and like rob stuff and do all types of gangster shit. I think that would be dope.
If they gonna end Ghosts, if they gonna end Power Book Ghost too, and like say that, you know, I don't know if that's gonna last. If this one didn't last, I don't know if what you said is gonna last. It sounds interesting. I would watch it, but how long would it last, bro?
Well, I mean, I think it all depends. But what I do think is going to happen is, I think for some reason that um Tyreek is going to end up on Force. I think maybe this season, you know how him and Braden are going to war with the Tejadas or whatever. I feel like they're going to go to war with the Tejadas. They might be in hiding or whatever. I think Braden's probably going to get killed, and I think that Tyreek is going to end up in Chicago working for Tommy.
Yeah,
And
we're gonna have to catch up on Force. We're not caught up on that or whatever. We caught up on everything else, BMF and everything else except for that. I'm gonna have to catch up on that. But I can see that. I can see him being in Chicago. I agree with you.
And they're trying to make more spinoffs, well, more cross shows.
Yeah.
So I mean, if he goes to Chicago, and that'll be it wouldn't be no reason for Ghost. I feel like this is gonna happen. This is just my thoughts. I feel like in the last couple of episodes, Ghost is gonna come back either as a ghost in Tyreek's dreams or something, and he's going to help them finish out the Tejadas. And the only Tejada that's going to survive is going to be Kane and Effie. I don't think any of the rest going to go. And then Tyreek's going to have to be on the run, and he's going to find himself in Chicago with Tommy.
I will say to add to what you said about the ghost thing, when they had when Tariq was locked up or whatever, and he had a dream that Kane, not Kane, what was 50 Cent character name?
Kanan.
Kanan.
That Kanan was, that was kind of cool. That the dream he had about Kanan talking to him, whatever like that. I thought that was cool.
Yeah. And I mean, this is what I think is going to happen to Kanan, raising Kanan. I think they're not saying it yet, but that show is going to end too. And that show is going to end. I think Kanan's family is going to get taken out because, I mean, they losing it. I think Kane is going to meet Breeze at the end. And then I think then he's going to meet Breeze and he's going to be the young Tommy and the young Ghost. And then that's when that Ghost and Tommy spinoff is going to happen. And Kane is going to be the little Raising Kane is going to be a guest star on that show, and that way they can end Raising Kane. They just can't say that now because Raising Kane still got to come on for a whole nother season, and if you know that it's ending already, I think people will be upset.
Okay. I mean, you got some good points and some thoughts. So let's see how it plays out.
All right, so let's see what else. So another thing that's a little crazy is, so for some reason, Ice Spice will not clear a verse for Kanye West. So supposedly, Nicki Minaj did a song with Kanye West like 6 years ago. Kanye wants to put it out. Nicki Minaj is like, nah, that joint like 6 years old. I don't want my verse on there. So then he asked Ice Spice to put a verse. Ice Spice, then she put a verse on it, but Kanye West is like, yo, can I release it? She's like, no. But people are saying that the reason why she didn't think about it, but the reason why she doesn't want to release it is because Kanye that she hangs out with Taylor Swift, and Kanye and Taylor Swift stuff is messy, so she don't want to get in between it. Do you feel? I mean, is that wrong for her to do the song and then not want to put it out?
I guess now you're talking about kind of in a sense where her loyalties are lying at,
Yeah,
and I don't know. No offense, Taylor Swift pulled more weight than Kanye. So,
yeah.
and if it came down to it, who's to say that Taylor Swift, couldn't end her career?
I mean, that's true. When you play with the big dogs can step on you for any little reason.
Right. And right.
Uh,
And right now she riding high. So, if I had to choose, I think I'd go her. I think I'd keep my loyalties to Taylor Swift and Kanye be on the back burner. If it, and that's just me thinking how when showbiz, because at the end of the day we all know showbiz is just as
yeah,
just
cutthroat.
like anything other thing. It's cutthroat, and you gotta have the right people in your pocket. You gotta have the right people promoting you, and one person say you suck, then it's very easy to get everybody else on board with them.
Now, if this was 5 to 10 years ago, she would be happy to be on Kanye's song.
Correct, but not now, because he messed his own self up. I
He
mean,
did.
his mouth and his action, and even now, even after all of that, he's still kind of doing a little idiotic things.
Well, I will say this: have any of y'all heard Vultures?
Uh-uh.
Mm-mm.
I'm gonna tell you, it's a good album. It's like not like old Kanye good, but it's got good songs. Like songs that is like, oh, this will be a banger if they still like them. Like he got a back that ass up type beat, and they use the sample. That joint go hard, and he got Nipsey Hussle on there.
Mm.
He got um he got his daughter rapping on there, and I ain't even gonna lie, dog. So I was in the car the other day, and my wife was like, "Play it, play it, play it." So I played it. I've been singing that joint for like 3 days, and she's like, "Miss Westy, such bestie," but it's dope. It's like catchy as hell. I don't know why. I want to say Just Hilarious used the song in one of her promos recently. I mean, it's a good album. Like a really good album. If he wasn't in the bad side of things and he had a machine behind him, it would be a big thing. But also, it came out the same week as Usher, and it was number one over Usher. And then they pulled it down, and then they put it back up, so the numbers started over. So it's a little weird. But also, I mean, on some good news, did y'all see Offset in Baltimore and Dunbar?
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
that was that was dope that he did that.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, I think that was really really good, and the fact that he came out during some little dude's while he was rapping, I know that
Hmm.
boosted him. I know he was pumped, and maybe he got a conversation with Offset. Maybe he might feature on something. That'd be awesome.
And
Does
it,
anybody
and it,
know why he was in Baltimore? Was it just one of them passing through type of things?
I'm not sure,
Oh,
but I do know it was safe in the school because they have a metal detector at Dunbar.
I did. I think he was giving out turkey. He was giving out food or something somewhere else. I mean, he came here and put a good light on the city, and it was definitely needed. So, I mean, I do want to thank him for that. You know, I will say it was appreciated, and it was a diamond in the middle of a bunch of coal.
Mm.
So,
Yeah.
that's what's up.
Well, I think that he's been living up to a pretty good reputation, because when they were trying to like drag him through the mud with the Usher thing, he kind of was like, "Nah, I don't do messiness. I don't do drama." And he
Uh,
li- and he stood on his words, and he didn't let the press or nobody else kind of like back him into saying something negative.
I wonder if he goes to other cities and do these things too, and we just don't hear about it.
Could be.
I mean, we do need people who are making moves and popular to go to these cities and talk to the kids for a second. Like that could change one of these little kids' life. So that's what's up. I respect that. I know our co-host would be so happy that he went to Dunbar. She probably was a fan. Probably went there that day to take a picture or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But shout out to her. Shout out to all the other people who are not on the show today. Also, well, back to messy news. Pastor, you might want to cover your ears. But what do y'all think about the teacher who gave her student a lap dance for his birthday?
I knew you were going to bring that up, and
Oh, it
I,
was.
I,
Oh,
yeah,
go ahead.
I think it was. I think it was very unethical of her. I mean, it's like we already have a whole bunch of things going on, somewhat like that now in the school systems already in advance, and then you just seal the deal after you and you tell them that you love them.
I thought that was like suicide. That's like killing yourself. Like, why? Why would you do that for 4 minutes? She over here lap dancing and do it in front of everybody. Why? Her mind must have been fried. I don't know. I'm surprised nobody family got up and did anything, but that was crazy. And I know these little knuckleheads were just filming it.
That's what they do. Pull out their cameras and film.
Yeah, and that's because I think that some people think that they are beyond being touched. Nothing's going to happen to them. I
Kind of
don't
like
know. Yeah.
Kanye.
I'm telling you, you got a lot of people out here. When you start talking to different people, you will find you got a lot of people out here who live in this fantasy world that they can do whatever they want to do, and nobody better not say anything to them. They not going to jail. Nothing's going to happen to them. It's a whole lot of people out here living like 10 times radical right now.
All right, well, on the show, I will say I stand on putting myself truly out there on certain topics. So I got a situation going on, and I just want to hear your opinions. I know probably what's the right or wrong from the situation, and I possibly was wrong, possibly maybe right. But long story short, so I am now putting back out my bounce house business. Right. So in doing so, I have a couple of bounce houses and I'm trying to promote it. And I recently also just learned how to make websites. So that's like a new thing that I'm doing. I'm just really learning it, really new. But I figured like making a bounce house website can't be that hard. You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, I had a soiree. And mind you, family, I'm just asking other people's opinion. I'm not mad. I'm not happy. I feel like maybe I was wrong, but anyways, we'll get into it. I just want to hear everybody else's opinion. So, and during this soiree, I did have one of my bounce houses outside, and I had a photographer. And not say I didn't ask the photographer to take pictures of the bounce house or anything like that. They were just literally there to take pictures of my family and us having a great time. So in doing so, the photographer took pictures of some of the kids in the bounce house. So I got those pictures, and in making this website, I started to, and Pastor probably should hear this, but I have to run this back. But anyways, so in making the website, I started to post some of those pictures on the website. Now, mind you, I didn't ask for permission. I haven't put the website out yet, but I haven't asked my family for permission or anything like that. I was having a conversation with somebody, and they said you should ask them for permission to use their kids' pictures. And I did do that now, but I mean, me not thinking and not having a young child, I didn't feel like I had to really, but I mean, ultimately you should. But what are your thoughts? Would you be upset if somebody that you knew or your family member used your child's picture in on a website? Not a nasty website, not a just a promotional website.
Me personally, no. But I have seen some people get really, really irate about their children. Matter of fact, I can keep it 100 with you. Um, Someone posted a picture of my nephew who is 7 months, and my sister, like, I mean, she just went from 0 to 10 when she saw it,
And I just
and
want to
she
put this out: signing a party animals contract does let me use your video for promotional use. It says it on the
no, I
contract.
no,
I'm just
I mean, no, I'm just saying she really, she really she really. I mean, I had never ever really seen her that angry before, and she went
joking.
on for a few days about it. So some people are, it all depends on how people feel. Like, some people, like I said, me, I don't care. But some people I know, oh, that's just like a no for them.
Respect. Somebody told me that I wouldn't understand because I literally don't have my own kids, which possibly could be true. But I mean, the way social media and everything goes these days, and people already posting their kids everywhere. I would feel like if I was a younger person, I would feel honored. That's like seeing your face on TV. You'd be like, "Oh, look at me on the TV!" Like I would be happy. Be like, "Wow, somebody chose me to actually be on something other than social media." But Pastor, I know you kind of missed some of it.
No, I got it. I wouldn't have been mad. I wouldn't have been mad.
I mean, yeah, I just I didn't think about it before I did it. I'm glad I didn't release it, but I do feel like somebody might have a problem. So it's mind you, it's multiple kids on there from my situation. So I've already started asking people, if they were okay with it, and I mean, I don't. Some people are still out on the lawn with it, but it's like that's something you should definitely think about. And people don't play around about their kids. So, that was something in my head today. But I'm glad I reached out beforehand. But hey,
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Like I
Well, that
said, it depends on how people, people got funny ways. The things that you think people won't be mad about, they are mad about, and the things that they should be mad about, they're not mad about.
and that is so true. And the hard part is sometimes you will be talking to somebody, mind you, this is not the same scenario, but you be like, you mad over that, but you did this. But my logic is not always somebody else's logic. And I
Mm.
guess there are triggering points for some people, you know what I'm saying? So like if I do something jokingly, like I mean, I appreciate y'all on the show, but sometimes I might say something and I don't know your background, so I don't know that really trigger you when it could be. But I
Mm.
mean, it just happens like that. Or like if somebody get hit with a water balloon and they think back and when they was little they was drowning in a pool. We don't know how they're gonna act, man. So I mean,
And that's why I say people got different ways. But thank you for that question of the day.
Yeah.
yeah.
So
So
I
I
got
got
another question of the day for you all. How would you feel if you found out after you dissolved the relationship that you were being tracked and watched on camera?
well, that's a bit against the law.
I would feel hoodwinked, bamboozled, run them up.
Yeah.
I feel like my privacy was being invaded.
Would you press charges? That's the second part about it.
The sad part is I feel like them little dudes in Chicago. I don't really want to see them in jail for that. The relationship's over. I'm glad somehow, some way, God told me this relationship wasn't the right one. So I moved from it. So I wouldn't put them in jail. Now, if they took, let's say you were doing something unholy, and y'all know what I mean. And then they took that footage and put it on the internet. That's a different story.
I kind of agree with him because, like, if you press charges and you're trying to move away from the situation, that's not going to help you move away from the situation. So you would want to not press charges so you can still move away from the situation. But with the exception of, like you said, you getting into some adult stuff with a new lady, and it being put on Facebook or whatever, that wouldn't work, or social media. So I agree with him.
I mean, basically, if you put them in jail, all you're doing is trying to get even. If you really want to get over it, you don't need to get even to get over it. You just need your own headspace. You made the right choice. They done ski. Hopefully, they do better in their next relationship. But I mean, for doing something like that, I call that a stupid crime. Nobody got hurt. It was stupid. So I mean, it is what it is. So who been recording you?
Actually, no one was recording me. Someone was telling me that it happened to them, and the reason how they found out was because they allowed someone else to drive their car, and this person kept hearing this strange noise in their car. And when they asked them about it, they were like, I don't know, ain't nothing's going on with my car. So the person who was driving the car continued to hear it and searched the car and found out that there were air tags in the car.
Well, air tags don't record you.
Right. But then once they questioned the person about why you put these in my car, they found out, the person was like, oh, well, since you found this, let me tell you that I've been doing this, this, and this, and this, and this. So they basically said, they had been doing other things to monitor them, and they have been doing it for a while.
Well, the crazy part about this is all this new age technology that we have. I think a lot of people do stuff like that in just different ways. Now, I will say this, you know, my wife has my location on her phone. I don't like it, but at the same time, anytime she wants, she can see where the fuck I'm at. You know what I'm saying? And like air tags is a different situation. I think that some Apple made air tags obsolete. So mind you, so I have a set of 3 air tags. I've lost them. And the funny part is I never took them out of the box. But at the same time, they made air tags, they made sharing locations. So it was kind of obsolete. From my understanding, what's supposed to happen is if somebody else's air tag is in your car and you have an iPhone, it should let you know that there is an air tag following you. So I'm figuring if there was a noise, that was some type of thing that Apple put into place to let you know that an air tag, because the problem with air tags also is that can be used to rob you. So like if I was marking the pastor and I dumped the air tag in his car, when he goes to whatever location, I can go set up shop right there because I know where it's at. So that's a problem with air tags. Technology, sometimes most of the time they make it for the betterment, but as people, we find a way to turn it, flip it, and bounce it and make it to something bad.
Well, I think, yeah, and that's what and they do that. And not only that, I think that with technology, it's kind of made us kind of be invasive and intrusive. So I don't, it's a combination of both. It's technology, and it's us, being curious as humans.
And I will say this, with having, well, I'm not gonna say having, with sharing my location, I feel like it is invasive. And like when we do go to the show, every Wednesday I go to the same place to charge my car. And every Wednesday at that time, they call me like, "Oh, are you at the spot?" And I'll be like, "You know, I'm at the spot because you just checked my location." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
Well,
do. It's an invasion of privacy. Like you can't. Like if I wanted to go to the store and like let's say I wanted to go to Zales and buy you a new ring, you looking at my locations, why you in Zales? That messes up my whole surprise.
so let me just ask you a question. What would you think would happen if you turned it off temporarily
Oh, we
or
go to
stop
war.
sharing?
This
You
is
go to
what
war?
happens. This is what happens is when you turn it off and you stop sharing it, they get a message. So it'll be like, "Oh, where you at? You was doing blah 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 blah." So under no circumstance shall I turn it off unless I want to go to war.
So let me put myself out there since Six putting himself out there. So um I know my significant other's location all the time, but I will not share mine with him.
Oh no no no! Oh no no no! That is messed up.
Yes,
Messed
it
up.
is.
Messed
That's why I said I'm putting myself out there because, and I think because of how when you do it and they don't really like pay attention, I don't even think he knows that I know that he shares his location with me.
I mean, it's like a prison, dog. It's a new age prison where if you step outside the yard, they gonna know.
And
And
so you're right. And so there has been times when I was being Snoop Doggy Doggy, and and I was like, well, let me think of how original way that I can ask this question without them knowing that I'm snooping on them.
that's
And
what happened.
so and so um every time when I get the curiosity to do it, I'm like, I think about and I think you might have brought this Six, or there was this like insert that they had on Facebook where they said don't let a phone wreck your home.
I don't know, but that's true.
So I stopped. That's kind of what made me stop checking.
Yeah, but regardless, I mean, if you stop checking, you still got the opportunity to check.
Right. But when I get curious to check, I don't.
You shouldn't.
I distract myself.
The problem is where's the trust?
It's not for me, and you know what? You can call it what you want. For me, it's not trust. It's not a trust issue. A lot of it for me is about like other things, like beyond trust. So
Like what? I need to hear specifics.
specifics. Now you really okay. So um for me, we are on a big financial plan in terms of trying to do some things. So the pack was to stop gambling so much, stop playing scratch off in the lottery. So for me, at this, if they're in a certain location, I know that they're going to get scratch offs and certain things. So
They at the liquor store, they getting that 50. That
well,
Powerball.
no, not alcohol, but for real getting scratch
That
offs because
Powerball.
they have they will drive, as people say, to East Bubba fuck to these random locations where all of these people hit these big mega, random spots that people don't go to, Uncle Al's corner store, to get a scratch off.
Yeah, but at the same time, I mean, if he go get a scratch off every once in a while, is it a big problem? Is that going to hinder you guys from saving this $1 million?
Well, yeah, it wasn't. See, and that's the thing. It's not. It was like every
Every
day.
day,
Like I'm talking about driving like 100 miles looking for like a secluded place to buy this scratch off. And that's
everybody
why it
got the same
became a
way.
problem.
So I ain't gonna lie. I used to work armed security at the grocery markets, the Giants or whatever. And I'm saying this because, to piggyback on what she just said. Some people have a real addiction to the scratch off thing or whatever. I seen somebody at the scratch off machine spend hours at the scratch off machine or whatever like that, at different times or whatever, and put the money in there, win money. What they win, they can win 10, they can win 20, they can win 30, they can win 40 or whatever like that, and put it back in the machine. So I'm saying it's a real thing, and it's real thing.
Yeah. My mother purchased a scratch off last week. But I don't she got it for other reasons. But I will say this, as far as scratch off and gambling, I've come to know my luck system. And brother, I ain't lucky. I don't even do it because I don't ever win nothing. I ain't never won nothing in life. So I just feel like that's not gonna work for me.
And that's the same way I feel. I actually saw when we were getting off the ship, it was a lady that could not get off the ship because she was $900 in the hole from being at the casino on the ship and kept charging it to her room.
Making a
And
run
like
for it.
it was so embarrassing because everybody that was standing in line knew this lady's business.
Well, that's a big one, and I get it. But location. I mean, so I've talked to many people about this. Girls find all types of ways to say what it's for. I just want to make sure you get there safe. I just want to do this. But I mean, it's just tracking somebody and them knowing about it is invasive. Now, to be honest, I'd rather not know about it. You know what I mean? With a lot of things, I'd rather just not know about it. But knowing that you're being tracked sucks. I do watch the show called Tammy Roman something unfaithful. And on that show, what they do is like, let's say somebody thinks they're getting cheated on. It's kind of like the new age cheaters. And then you go to them and be like, hey, I think I'm getting cheated on. Then she puts a whole personal spy on that person. This person sit there all day and all night. Anywhere you go, they go in with a special camera. And it's like they be having brooches, they be having coffee cups, and they get all your business. Then let's say the girl has an option to meet up with the girl that you're cheating with or whatever. Then she can ask her, can you put these cameras in your place? And then the person comes over and they having a conversation like it's all lovey-dovey. And then they just bust in the house with the big cameras, like, oh, you got caught cheating, that. And I have seen like a bunch of YouTube people on there, so I don't know how real it is, but that joint is invasive, and I mean, but also when you're playing with somebody's heart, you're playing with somebody's heart. So I mean, it can go both ways. That's definitely a wild situation. Yeah. So my last topic for today is, okay, so have you ran into a person that got away, like maybe an ex-lover from maybe 5, 10, 20 years ago? How did you react? How did your spouse react? Did you go up to them, hug them? Did you say hi? Did you walk around like you ain't see them? What would you do? And you really love this person. You did. This probably would have been the one that got away.
Well, my first real love interest or whatever like that from my home church, we just cool now or whatever. We all worked at the same job or whatever. So my first job was Pizza Hut, bro, and she worked at Pizza Hut. And then my wife, well, she wasn't my wife then, but she ended up working at Pizza Hut as well. So we all worked at the same job. So I mean, like, it wasn't awkward or nothing like that because, like,
you already know.
Yeah, she already knew it. So I didn't have a situation exactly like what you just said. You feel me?
I would say, what happened? One time, really a long time ago, I was in Arundel Mills Mall, and mind you, this This one is a long time ago, but it probably would have been the one at that time. And I was walking in a Rundleville Mall, and I felt like I seen her, and she had like 2 kids, but I kind of ducked out of the situation. My heart wasn't ready to see, you know what I'm saying? I didn't know how to have a conversation, what to have a conversation, what should I do? Should I hug her? Should I not hug her? My wife ain't here. Do I just bring that up? You know what I'm saying? It was just weird. But I just wanted to hear like how other people would handle that situation. I did watch a video just now, and the video was basically about the same thing, but it was a skit. So he ran into his ex at like an apartment complex, right? And then she was like, "Oh, what you doing in this neighborhood? You probably couldn't afford it." Da da da. Da. And he was like, "Oh, well, I am. I just got an apartment here." And then they both started lying on top of lying, trying to one up each other. It was funny. But it was
kind of like going to a high school reunion and you trying to make it look like you still on top, kind of like that kind of thing.
Yeah. So
I gotta ask you real quick because you got the wheels spinning, turning. With saying the one that got away or whatever, and you don't have to go too far into it if you don't want to. Do you feel like if when you ran into this lady, do you feel like if you wasn't in a relationship and she wasn't in a relationship, that sparks could fly?
Do I feel like that? No.
Oh, okay. Because when you said they got away, you made it seem like it was a door still open.
Nah, the door's not still open. I mean, I think she's married now, and I think she do have the 2 kids. I mean, back when I could, I did my Facebook stalking. I'm not gonna lie, but
okay.
I will say that. I mean, I can be open with this. Most people, like Hutch, probably knows this story. Everybody who knew me knew this person and knew the situation. But I will say that they didn't believe in me.
Okay.
And you know, they didn't think that I was going to be anything at all, really.
Right.
You know, they came for money and all types of stuff.
Right.
And I feel like
they don't want to buy into potential. You had to be established already, kind of.
Yeah, but at the same time, I mean, mind you, this was years ago. I had my heart was still going, and I felt like, you know, I may not had a haircut that day or something, and I didn't want it to look like I knew this dude wasn't gonna be nothing. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, they in a different place. In order to have the conversation, because especially when you feel like, I'm not gonna say you feel like you lost, but I mean, it didn't work out. The conversation would probably have to go like to that, like that way. The conversation, like, oh, well, I got this, and she's like, well, I got these 2 kids. Not saying that it would play out like that, but what else can I say? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where it's like, well, I did this with my life, and you thought I wasn't.
Yeah.
You know. So, but I felt like the skit was super duper funny, and you know, it went out, and it was a bunch of lies, like, and I felt like sometimes these things are little arguments, and you know what I'm saying. So she was like, "Oh, yeah, I got a new boyfriend." He was like, "Oh, well, I'm getting married," and it'd be like he was basically saying the things that she had wished, and he was saying the opposite things, like that she had wished. And
with your situation, like, so, like, let's go there. Like, you didn't have a conversation with the lady or whatever, the ex or whatever. But if you had like a Dave Chappelle kind of moment or whatever like that, and you can actually say, what if, what would you have said? How the conversation would have went if you actually confronted her, or if y'all actually talked?
I mean, ultimately, you want to say that you. So, I mean, this will be giving out game, but in my head, so there's 2 different scenarios. In my head, what I'll be saying versus probably what happened in real life. And me thinking strategically, I probably would have had to approach the situation like a complete gentleman and Therefore, it'll show like I grew. I'm actually that dude that you wanted. But in my head, I'd be like, well, this is what I did. You said I wasn't going to do that. This is what happened. This is what happened. I'm making this. I got this. I did this. And you still there with your da-da-da-da. But the way you have to, I would have to portray it and be like, oh, yeah, I'm good, you know. Then see what questions she asks. And that'll tell us what the vibe is.
Okay, gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? She might be like, oh, are you still selling weed? Then you know what the vibe is like. She's
Right.
looking at you like you was petty, this and that. Or, you know, something stupid like, oh, you still live in your mama's basement? You know what I mean? Then you have to be like, well, no, I actually did such and such and such and such. Or,
But
I mean,
was the fact that she didn't believe in you, was that even more steam? Was that even more motivation?
so I will be completely honest. She didn't believe in me, and her family didn't believe in me.
Wow.
And it did be my motivation for a lot of things for a long time. So honestly, I knew the company that her father had worked for and stuff like that, and I knew what her father had done. And I'm not even gonna front, he's an outstanding black man. You know what I'm saying? So I actually worked for that company, and in lights, I wanted to. One day he walks in where I'm at, and I'm suited up, looking straight, and you know, doing whatever I do, and then I'd be like, "Oh, hey, how you doing?" type shit. That never happened. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, these are all things that go on in my head. But shoot, the one time I see her, I'm in the mall, probably with a sweatsuit on, trying to run out with no haircut. Though it's not the optimal opportunity that I would like to have placed in the situation.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? I definitely want to put my best foot forward. And I mean, it'll be ways of saying that you did stuff without saying it. You know what I'm saying?
You want to look like the success or whatever like that. You want to look like it and say, well, this is what you didn't believe. I'm where you said it. Basically, you said I couldn't get to. I'm there without saying I'm there. I dig what you're saying.
Yeah. But you know, that's definitely not the story. And I would say that for a long time, I did my Facebook checks. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I knew I already knew she had the 2 kids. She was married. I think I wasn't even married at the time. And I was like, shoot. And internally, I was like, oh man, she just had a kid. I'm losing. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, it's funny because, you know, when you're in those ignorant situations, sometimes you want to beat people to the punch of bad stuff. And I mean, if I had kids like that, something else could have happened. You know what I'm saying? You can mess around, have kids with somebody bad and be in a bad situation.
Yeah.
Or you can mess around and have kids with a great person, but if your decision is based off of somebody else, then that's stupid.
Facts.
Yeah. But I mean, I guess you have a totally different scenario where they all know each other. Like in a perfect scenario, me and my wife would have been walking through the mall looking like we're going to a Christmas ball. You know what I'm saying? And then she seen us and she got on sweatpants with her hair not done and them 2 badass kids. And I'm like, oh, your husband's cheating on you. Sorry to hear that. You know what I'm saying? But this is not what happens.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I don't know what kind of humor you like, but Vince Staples has a show on Netflix. It's kind of like that Get Out humor type stuff. But I mean, it was a good watch, but it's short. I hope he does have another one. it was
I have
interesting.
something good for you to watch too. Toya watches it, and I watch it. Me and my wife watch it too. I forget what the comedian name is. He always do church type stuff or whatever like that. It's called.
Is it Kevin on stage?
Huh?
Is it the Kevin on stage?
Yeah, he does it. He has a show called Churchy. It is hilarious, bro. It's hilarious. It's on Prime Video.
Prime Video. I give it a try.
You will laugh. You will like it. 6, you will like it. You will like it.
Yeah, Prime is wonderful, but I do have a bone to pick with Amazon Prime. So a little whiles back, Amazon when you go to Amazon, you know, they show you the latest and the greatest and all this, right? So they had this video game, right? And you go to Amazon and you just buy the joystick, and they're like, oh, you can play this Prime video game, da da da, right? So I bought the joystick like at least a year ago. I have yet to see where I can get this Prime video game from. So I'm just sitting here with this joystick, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. But one day I'm gonna call Amazon and say, what the hell am I supposed to do?
Prime Video killed me because they got stuff that, well, under your current subscription, you can watch this stuff for free. But it'd be so much stuff that you can't watch or whatever under your current subscription because you gotta, you know, add that. You gotta add stars. You gotta add this. You gotta add that. And it's so that we got away from cable or whatever like that, only to start paying subscriptions for all the rest of this stuff.
Dude, I'm double dipping with it. So I got subscriptions and cable.
And it's just crazy when we had cable, yo, was never nothing on TV.
And some things I just keep for certain shows. Like for real, the only reason I got stars and pay for stars is because we like Powers and BMF.
Yeah, facts.
I had HBO just because we watched Insecure.
Insecure was on HBO. The thing about the bad cops or whatever from Baltimore, that was on there.
Yeah.
Charm City, is it the one with Meek Mill and the dirt bikes? That was on there.
Yes.
It was a lot of things on HBO that we just signed on for that to watch that.
Yeah, but now that's not there. It's like, why am I paying for this? And then, you know, Stars are dinging on a new show, the new, like these spinoffs or whatever. That's gonna dangle, and I'm gonna have to get it.
Just like everybody got Peacock for whatever that was on Peacock at one time, the thing that we watched, the movie that we watched or whatever.
Yeah. I will say, I mean, being a techie geek, there is a show on Amazon Prime called Upload. It's a good little show. It do got some little techie geek stuff to laugh about if you know it. But I mean, even the concept is ill. It's like the dude, like you die, you could upload your mind to a hard drive and live in a fake digital world. And then they were talking about downloading, but people were like exploding. But it's a good little one of those shows you watch just because.
Yeah. Okay. I'll keep that. I'll check it out.
Yeah. I mean, I ain't gonna front, man. I watch a lot of TV, though.
Yeah. Me and my wife, whenever we get the chance, because we hustle and bustle with the kids and everything like that, sitting down to a show really is a downtime for us. Even if we just take an hour just to watch something, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You understand? You married, you got kids, so yeah.
Oh yeah. We watch, but you know, my wife is heavily into Ratchet TV, so
we watch all the power stuff. You know, BMF. You know, we watch all of that. We watch the Chicago PD, Chicago Med. We watch SWAT.
I need to get into those. Oh, I watched the whole SWAT. That was like my show, and I get addicted. Like I was watching it all day. Like instead of working.
SWAT is the show. Yeah, that's that show. I like cop shows. I like watching cop shows.
Yeah, I like cop shows too.
And that gets popular belief because a lot of people that's in the military don't really like military movies and military shows. I'm the opposite. I love them.
I like them. I watch most of them. Yeah. I know Chicago and all that are good shows, but I just feel like I'm way too behind, and I would get addicted and catch up. I literally watched all 10 seasons of Blacklist.
Okay.
Like I started super late, and then I just one day just seen it on Netflix and just started watching it. Then it got to the last season, and I had to wait for it to come on Netflix. But that was pretty good.
All American is back on TV. I don't know if you follow that.
Is it back? Is new episodes?
New episodes back on TV. What I usually do, I don't watch it on TV. I wait until the season is over, and then I watch it when they put it on Netflix.
Yeah, I watched it for a couple of seasons. Sometimes I just go through stuff and I just get blown after a while. Like
I feel you. But I watched all of All American. I was all the way caught up, and then they had a spinoff, the one where the girl was. I think we talked about this before, and I watched that too. Whatever. So yeah, like I said, when they finish with the season, they put it on Netflix. I check it out.
Yeah. So you watched the new season on Netflix already?
No. I think they're still doing the shows on TV. It's not on Netflix yet.
Yeah, I need to watch that. I ain't gonna front.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's 7:30. You know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead and pray out of this thing. And it was a good show. It was cool.
You already know. I like the way that how you came on with the honesty or whatever like that. A little bit into the life of Six. You know what I'm saying? That was dope. That was dope. I thought that was dope. It's hump day, y'all. It's hump day. We getting over another hump day. So a little bit of inspiration to get us through. There is hope for us. That what we're doing is not in vain. What we're doing is not in vain. Keep on praying. Keep on fasting. Keep on showing up. Keep on paying it forward. May God breathe life into us during this Lent season, so we don't have to come out of this Lent season the same way that we came in. May God breathe life into our ministries. May God breathe life into us as we start new businesses or continue with businesses we already had. May God breathe life into us as we make sacrifices to get closer to God. May God breathe life into our Christian journeys, even beyond the Lent season. Help us to die to those things that are hindering our progress, knowing that dying is not the end, but a means of changing who you are. Do you want to see Jesus? Look for ways and places where your life is most guarded, most insulated, and most isolated. Those are places of blindness. Those are places that need to die. Each one of those is a grain of wheat containing much fruit. Let it fall to the earth and die, and we will see Jesus. There's hope. God is breathing new life into us. All we have to do is stop looking at the mountain we have to climb and look at that one step in front of us and take it one step at a time. The work God has done, the work God is doing, and the work God is doing through us is not in vain. The mistakes we made aren't the end of our stories. The obstacles are there to challenge us and not to stop us. The book of Jeremiah says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope, and plans to give you a future." God breathe new life into us and give us hope as we get through this hump day. Amen.
All right. Amen. Real quick, I would like to say something else that is dear and near to my heart. I would like to first say, rest in peace, Rodney. And this is just me talking to you. I understand, life was hard, and in your earlier life, you may have did things that were not the greatest, but just know that to me and my family, you were a wonderful person, and you will be missed forever. And I hope that you have found peace in the afterworld, and I hope your suffering ends. Thank you. All right, folks.
Also got a shout out on top of that. Rest in peace, Lieutenant Crownover. Good guy, Tom Crownover, that I worked with at one of my security jobs. I just found out on Facebook that he passed. Real good guy. Believed in God and not just talked about the word, but really lived the word or whatever. So on that note, just want to tag in and say rest in peace, Lieutenant Crownover.
Rest in peace. All right, good show, guys. We're going to be here next week.
We'll see y'all next week.
All right.